Hey, my name is Matthew Hollis. If you don't know what I do on here, I review 365 films. So basically, January 1st, I started watching and reviewing a film a day, and I'm going to do that for 365 days. So the film that I'm reviewing today is The Martian, day 31, last film of January. So basically what The Martian is about is it's about this crew, the Ares crew, that goes to Mars. Now, we've been to Mars multiple times. I believe the date around the time that this takes place is 2028. And when we get there, we have all these missions and stuff that we have to do, collect things, everything like that. And there's this whole entire Ares crew. And on that crew is Mark Watney. And Mark Watney is played by Matt Damon, who does an incredible job, you guys. I mean, he really encapsulates what Mark Watney's performance needed to be like. I read this book, The Martian, and this is based off of a book, and I read it way before the film kind of came out. I remember the book being really, really huge in the scientific world because a lot of the things that took place in the book were scientifically accurate. And normally when you watch science fiction films or read science fiction books, there's obviously a huge part of them that is fake or not possible. And The Martian was a rare occasion where actually there's a lot of scientific backing behind it, and the film does that justice. And that's really has a lot to do with the screenplay that Drew Goddard did. If you guys don't know who Drew Goddard is, he wrote Daredevil, the new Daredevil series that's on Netflix, and he really took a book that's actually quite funny and transitioned it into an incredible movie that both has great drama and great comedic moments. I mean, The Martian is actually one of the funniest films I've seen in 2015, which is kind of a surprise because the book, although the book is hilarious, it has a lot of moments that are really, really, really dramatic. I mean, this is a guy fighting for his life. So basically the story of The Martian, to get back into it, is the Ares crew is there, and then all of a sudden there's a huge storm that happens on Mars's surface, and they're told to evacuate. Well, as they're trying to evacuate, a piece of debris comes and hits Matt Damon's character, Mark Watney, and they believe, the rest of the Ares crew believes he's dead. So they leave because, you know, he just flatlines and everything. So they all leave Mars and go back to the space station that's outside the surface of Mars and leave Mark Watney there. Well, basically what he has to do is, he's alive, and what he has to do is try to survive until somebody can come back to get him. And that's basically the whole plot of The Martian, is Mark Watney, Matt Damon's character, trying to survive. And this film's a really great mixture of Castaway and Apollo 13. If you guys haven't seen Castaway or Apollo 13, both of those are incredible movies as well. But this film really mixes both of those two together pretty spectacularly, as well as having a ton of science around it, real based science. And I just loved that aspect of it. I loved the book when I read it. I really enjoyed the film as well. And Ridley Scott really had a particular amount of time that he was doing films like Exodus, Gods and Kings, and Robin Hood, where I didn't really know if he could get back into it. He's one of my favorite directors of all time because of the fact that he brought us Alien and Blade Runner, which are two of my favorite films of all time. And he's brought in us Gladiator and a ton of other great films as well. And just, it seems like in the past couple years with his last few films, he really hasn't caught fire as he used to. And this film actually is the film of the comeback of both Ridley Scott and, in my opinion as well, Matt Damon. Because Matt Damon really hasn't had that incredible role since the Bourne series, which was in the early to mid-2000s. And so for him to get into this film and really knock it out of the ballpark, guys, like I said, his performance is both dramatic and comedic. And I don't know any other actor that could do it as well as Matt Damon does in this film. And I cannot wait to see what else Ridley Scott comes out with soon. I know he's directing the new Alien Covenant movie, which he's going back to, or Alien. He did it with Prometheus, but I am a huge Alien fan, so I cannot wait to see what he does with that. And another thing that I want to touch on with this film, you guys, is it is cinematically incredible. I mean, I saw it in theaters, and even seeing it again on a television instead of in the theater, it still looks incredible, the wide shots that they get. And obviously this film has a ton of CGI in it, of course, because they didn't shoot on Mars, but still, those elements of it, it just looks incredibly realistic, and it was done really well. I believe they shot it in a desert somewhere to make it really look like it was on Mars. And the cinematography really, from the very first shot that you see of open Mars, when he wakes up after the accident, you just have this sense of wow and the sense of amazement. And for me, being a huge, science buff, I just love everything that has to do with NASA, and this film really encapsulated what it's just the excitement of it, and even the leading up, and I don't want to spoil any of the story for you guys, but they try, like the people on Earth really try, they find out that Mark Watney is alive, and they really try to get him off of Mars, and it takes I believe it takes over a year for them even to get a mission to him. That's how long he has to survive on Mars. So not only is he doing all this stuff that's incredibly funny, he has a hugely optimistic attitude, but there are these times where he really gets down. There's this part in the very beginning of the film where, and Matt Damon, to Matt Damon's credit, once again, incredible acting, where he's lying there and he's going, I'm gonna die. I just gotta accept that I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna be able to make it. They're not gonna be able to make it to me. I'm dead. And he's just lying there for a good 4 to 5 seconds, and then he goes, I'm not gonna die. I'm not going to die. I'm going to survive. And that's the human will to survive. And I really feel like that's what this film really is about, is the human will to survive. And like I said, screenplay is spectacular. Direction, Ridley Scott is back on it, you guys. I cannot wait for his next film now, because The Martian is he just knocked it out of the ballpark. I know this film's been winning a ton of awards, and I cannot wait to see his next science fiction movie, because Ridley Scott is the best, in my opinion, science fiction director of all time. So, incredible movie, you guys. Obviously, you can see I really enjoyed it. If you like reading as well, the book The Martian is incredible, and just check out The Martian, you guys. I loved every single bit of it. I cannot wait to watch it again, honestly. I've already seen it twice, and I loved it both times. So thank you guys so much for getting on here and listening to my review of The Martian. I'll have another review for you guys tomorrow. Don't know what film yet. Can't believe I'm already a month into this. I can't believe I've already done 31 movie reviews. I mean, I'm going to have so many movie reviews done by the end of the year. And you guys are really seeing me grow as I'm doing this. I feel like I'm getting better at it every single film review I do. And that's because of you guys and your guys' support and sharing this out. So I really appreciate you guys. And yes, Deer Hunter, love that film. I'm gonna have to review it soon. But thank you guys so much. And as always, you can recommend me films just like you guys are doing on here right now. You can always recommend me films on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/Galv, GHALV. Just shoot me a quick message or even post on my wall on films that you guys would like to see. And as always, I'll be on here tomorrow with another film review. Thank you guys so much.